afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 2. This is Dr. Cooper. This is your weekly announcement. It's a day late because I was sick yesterday, but that happens, right? So let's move on. Now, what are we working on? So, week 2, you'll see that I've changed the front page, and you can quickly click on the modules button from the front page to go to modules, and or you could just hit the tab over here for modules. All right, so we've already looked at the week 1 page, which was last week, and you completed these lessons, and you had a lovely quiz. Sometimes the quizzes can be a little challenging. Don't worry, because there's a lot of times where I will award more points, um, more than what you scored on it, if I see a pattern that everyone's missing the same question or something like that. So I haven't had a chance to grade anything from last week yet, but I will. So let's go ahead and click on week 2 and see what we need to work on for this week. So the first thing I noticed is that we're in the middle of a discussion, so I made a separate video to give you some tips about how to be successful in the discussion. So don't worry if I called you out for doing something exemplary or not so exemplary. We're all learning from each other, so I'm just happy that you participated, and I want to be able to give you some feedback so that everybody can benefit from that feedback. Okay, so we shouldn't be ashamed of our work. You should be proud of your work. All right, so plan for 6 hours this week. First thing that we will be working on is learning how to find some research and then summarizing that research. One of the other things you'll notice about this assignment is that I'm going to be asking you to use a bibliography tool. And the reason why I recommend the tool in the beginning is because we haven't really jumped into learning the APA style of documentation yet. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed by that. So if you're using this tool that I'm recommending, that'll take a little bit of pressure off of you. So when we get back to, I think in weeks 3 or 4, I can't remember which week it is, when we jump into APA, it'll make a little bit more sense. But for now, I just want you to use the tool. All right, so you have a lesson that you worked on for yesterday, lesson 2.1, and it talks about bibliographies. One of our goals towards one of the papers towards the end of the class will be to write a annotated bibliography, and you're actually starting that with assignment number 1. So you start annotated bibliography with assignment number 1 or assignment number 2. Can't remember, I get them mixed up here, and then you finish it with paper number 4. So it's kind of amazing how you started now and then 16 weeks later you finish it. So you want to keep up with it. But there's a couple of things that I had to change. We changed from RefMe to CiteFast. And so if you do see some references to RefMe, like you see right here, uh, don't worry. As soon as I find them, I edit them and change them. But we're using CiteFast, and I believe I pretty much changed it everywhere else that you'll see it. Okay, so here's what we're doing. You're going to choose one of these articles that I've listed here. Where are they? Right there. Okay. And these are from last year. And so there might be some better ones now. So I'm not really opposed if there's a topic that you can find better, that's an article, that's a credible article. If you're not sure, then just use one of these. And I just want you to read it to get an idea of what some of the issues are that we are dealing with today. And so you're going to read actually 2 of these, and you're going to read them, and you're going to write a brief summary of each of the articles, and then you're going to create the citation for the articles to create what we call an annotated bibliography. Okay, so when you click on this link, it should open up a file. So this will open up in a new window. Let's see if it works. Yeah. So a lot of these are from the web. So this was from PBS, and you can see Medicare reforms are a matter of when, not if. And so it's just a debate about whether we keep Medicare or not. Do we do away with it, etc. Okay, you might say, huh, I don't care about that. All right, well, if you don't care about that, what about Planned Parenthood? Should it be defunded? Do you care about that? Now, you might look at all of these and say, I don't care about any of this. Well, then you need to start caring because it's affecting you. And it's time now that you are an adult, that you're going to have to start paying attention to what's going on in the world if you really want to be a part of this world or this country. So choose 2 of them. I'm forcing you to read about what's happening in the world today, and they're just going to summarize it. All right, so we finished these 2 lessons. So let's take a quick look at the assignment. So the assignment walks you through the process of creating an annotated bibliography. Now there's an example of an annotated bibliography. I'm about ready to give you a new example um, as soon as I finish making this video. But if you look at the example, it's in MLA, but the rest of it is what you need to do. So other than the citation format, your assignment should look like this one. So you're reading the two articles. Let's zoom. Let's go full scale on this. All right. All right. So here's your working bibliography is first. So the two articles that you read, you put them in correct citation form using APA, not MLA. Then you do your annotated bibliography, which will start with the first citation in APA, and then your summary. And then you have your second citation, oops, which is here, and then your summary. And that's what an annotated bibliography looks like. Okay, so if you're going to use CiteFast will do this for you, the citation part of it. If you don't use CiteFast, you can use whatever you want. It's not required that you use it, but it's going to be very helpful. So here's a screencast of CiteFast. It says APA, you select what it is that you're citing, web page, journal, newspaper, book. Then you enter in the title, or you can do a manual entry and fill it in yourself. And then your citation references pop up on the right side right here. So it's a really helpful tool. I know it has ads. You have to set up an account if you want it to save it for you. It's only going to save it temporarily, so you're always going to have to export it out to a Word document. But at least you'll know that you have the format correct without having to worry too much about it. Okay, so assignment one is a pretty easy assignment. You want to make sure that your summaries are at least 5 sentences, 125 words, and you do not have to use CiteFast if you don't want to, but you do have to use APA format. So again, just keep in mind that the example that I'm providing is an MLA format, and until I correct that, do not match the format of the documentation style. We are using APA throughout this whole semester. Okay. All right, so assignment number one is going to be due this week, and also assignment number two. And so assignment number two is very similar to assignment number one, except for this time, you still have not picked a topic yet, right? You are still exploring topics. That's where we are right now in the preliminary phase of research. And so for assignment number two, you're just going to do a little bit of a search for any topic that's interesting to you. So you're not quite sure if you want to write about guns or if you want to write about Planned Parenthood or, ooh, my favorite, the wall. Did anyone mention the wall? Ah, it's almost comical now, but the wall. Should we build a wall? Is it even necessary? I mean, Donald Trump makes lots of promises about what that wall is going to do for the United States. Do you agree? Do you disagree? That's a very good topic. So assignment number two, you're going to explore again any of those topics. You're not committed to the topic yet. It's not a matter of saving yourself time, because if you don't choose wisely on a topic, you're going to get tired of that topic. So I want you to explore as many as possible before you have to choose next week. Okay, when we do assignment number three, you will then choose. Assignment number one and two, let's just see what's out there. Okay, so you're going to search some databases, and the databases are going to bring up lots of different topics again. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. So it takes me to the library databases, and so you choose a database. Now, some of you will be able to choose your database by subject because you already know what you want to write about. But if you're not clear, just use some of these general where it's all subjects. Okay. If you know that you're writing about something like that deals with culture or the military, okay, or some sort of folklore or literature, okay, news, so Black Lives Matter might fall into this category here. Education, where did my education go? Wherever Eric is, I saw it here a minute ago. Okay, so all of these are can be narrowed down by subject. So if your topic is in biology or business, then you might want to search some of these databases. But I just recommend using, for now, these general databases: Academic Search, Masterfile Premier. Once you log in with your MEID and password, then you should be able to access the databases from off campus, and then you can search. So if you're going to do something like gun control, which is a tough one because you really have to have a very narrow topic, because we want current information. We don't want to fight gun control in its current form or a current argument, do away with it or not do away with it. I think that the pressures to gun control right now are limiting people's use of guns, not taking them away. That's not going to happen. So let's not even argue that. But the limitations to the guns, that might be a better argument. But anyway, so I just typed in gun control and already I got 4,443 sources or articles that I could look at. Okay, so your goal for this assignment too is to find 4 citations. That means 4 articles that you are interested in. Okay, once you find them, you are going to locate one full text article. Oops, sorry. One full text that you're going to use for the next part of the assignment. You're going to create a working bibliography again. So what you're going to do is add these 4 citations to the 2 that you found for assignment number 1. So now you have a total of 6, right? 6 sources. So you'll create your working bibliography. Now, from the lesson that you did yesterday, you all learned that a working bibliography is just an ongoing list of sources that you consult as you do your research. So you started with 2 that I gave you. Now you found your own 4, and you're going to move on. The next assignment will ask you to find 2 or 4 more, and so forth. So you have a strong list. Okay, so you're going to complete the assignment following these instructions, but then you have to submit this assignment into Connect. So when you click on the Submit the Assignment, so you create your document that'll look like this. Again, this example of document is using MLA, and you will need to use APA. Okay, that change was just made over the break, and as you all know that you got a new teacher and I got this new class a lot sooner than I expected to have a new class. So that's why the change is not completely made, but your assignment will look just like this with the exception that you will be using APA, which is kind of interesting because this assignment looks like it's APA, part of it. The first part is APA, and the second part is MLA. Ah, interesting. Okay, so you'll make your assignment look just like this one, and then you're going to upload it into Connect, so your textbook, online textbook. So you click that link, and then it's going to dump you over into Connect. Takes a while. All right. So for you, you'll go right into the assignment, but I'm in instructor view. So let's go into here and I want to see what the student sees. All right, so it gives you the instructions again. Just take that one document that you've already prepared and you're just going to upload it. So you click upload a file, you find that document, you add it, okay? And it doesn't make sense, but you have to click assign. Mine says assign, yours might say submit. Okay, remember I'm in teacher view, so all right, so we say, okay, got it. All right, so now you can see my assignment was uploaded, and now you have this wheel. You have to click on each parts of this wheel to do what it asks for you to do. Okay, so the new word list. So during the research process, when you're starting to research, you usually only have a few words. Like my first words searching was gun control. Well, what other words are going to help me search for gun control? That's too broad. Maybe I should type in automatic weapons or gun legislation. These are all new words that are going to help me find different types of information. Okay, so how did you come up with new words for your list? How do you think these words will help you? Okay, one of the things that you'll learn is that when you do search, so I'm going back to the database, it'll give you subjects. See down here where it says subjects? These are new words. So firearm fatalities, gun laws, children's accidents, gunshot wounds, small arms and ammunition manufacturing. These are all new words that I can add to my list. So when I go up to here, I can say, I learned some new words from the database I used. Okay. Now, how will these be helpful? Well, I didn't think of some of these words before, so of course it's going to be helpful. Part of the reason why people want more gun legislation is because of the damage that these guns do. So being able to now search for um, gun, what was it? I forgot already. Oh, small arms accidents or gunshot wounds or firearm fatalities. This can help my argument if I'm choosing to say that we should limit the use of guns or limit the types of guns people can use. I can maybe find some statistics about firearm fatalities. Okay, so you want to explain that. Now, once you finish, you save that and you go back to the wheel. So now it's kind of grayed out. And you go to the next one. Citations for the 4 articles. Okay, so where were you able to find 2 journal articles? How do you know they are journal articles? Okay, so on my assignment, these are my 4 citations, right? So in order to do this assignment, I can highlight my, uh, why is it not letting me do it? Oh, it's just a question. So I can look at my citations and say, yes, I found my first 2 are, well, that's a newspaper, times.com. I don't have any journal articles, it looks like. So I could say, oops, I forgot to do my journal articles. I better redo this assignment. So I would type in there, I found 2 journal articles, or I didn't find 2 journal articles. I better go do that. Okay, you save that. You get back to your wheel again. Okay, now you don't want to save it blank because now it tells you that it's done. Now you're just going to go to the wheel to finish it. And it's not until you finish all of these where you get a submit button at the bottom where you're able to submit your final assignment. Okay, so you're not done just by creating this document that you're creating when you do assignment number 2. Okay, so you want to make sure that you remember that if there's another part in Connect that you have to finish with it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So you can see in week 2, we've already finished lesson 2.1 bibliographies. So now you should know what a references are, works cited is, and what an annotated bibliography is. And when I ask for them, you want to make sure that you are doing them correctly. So references, a list of sources that are only used in your paper. You don't have a paper yet, so I'm not asking for references yet. Working bibliography, anything that you've come across in your research process. Annotated bibliography is anything that you've come across in your research process with summaries. Okay, you had a 24 AD quiz after reading chapter 24, and then tomorrow you're going to finish up lesson 2. Just practice writing summaries, okay, which I believe you did in chapter 24 quiz. All right, then you have these 2 assignments for this week. So that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions, just let me know.